A big thank you to my friends at Skillshare for sponsoring today's A Week of Vegan Breakfasts video.
Yeah.
Good morning, my beautiful friends, and welcome back to another video. I hope you have been keeping very well. As the title would suggest, today's video is a week of vegan breakfasts. So if you are new to my channel, in these videos I show you 7 delicious breakfast recipes to get you through the week. If you would like to try a new one every day, then you have the ability to do so. But yeah, these are just some really easy and delicious vegan breakfast recipes that I personally really enjoy, and I hope that you will enjoy as well. Before we get into the recipes, I want to just say a quick shout out to my friends at Skillshare and thank them for sponsoring today's video. If you've never heard of Skillshare before, it is an incredible online learning community for creative and curious people. There are literally thousands of online classes that you can use to create new hobbies or to deepen existing passions. As you may already know, I have been using Skillshare for months upon months, and I use it for literally so many things. I love using it for enhancing my cooking skills. I love using it for helping me grow my YouTube channel and learn how to run my own business. I love using it for learning how to use my camera and learning how to use the editing program that I use. And recently I have been really enjoying using it to create really good habits in my daily life and to get into quite a nice routine. A class that I have been really loving lately is actually by Michelle B, who is a YouTuber and a fellow Gold Coaster, and that class is called Designing the Life You Want: 4 Exercises for Clarity and Motivation. And I've personally been really enjoying this lately as I try to get into a good routine with working from home and just creating good habits and a good lifestyle for myself. I personally find creativity and learning as a beautiful form of self-care, and if you're interested in trying out Skillshare, they have very kindly offered the first 1,000 people who click the link in my description box to get a 2 months free trial of the premium membership. Skillshare is created specifically for learning, which means that there are absolutely no ads. And after you use the 2-month free trial in the description box below, it is less than $10 per month on an annual membership. Thank you again to my friends at Skillshare for sponsoring today's video, and let's get into a week of vegan breakfasts. So I recently purchased a waffle maker and of course had to make some buckwheat waffles for today's video. I started with soy milk and apple cider vinegar, which I mixed together and set aside, and then I also made a flax egg simply with some flax meal and water. I let the flax egg sit for a minute or 2 before putting it into a bowl with the milk and apple cider vinegar mixture, but then I realized this would be a heck of a lot easier if I put it into a blender, and so I poured it all into my Vitamix. I then added in some vanilla as well as coconut sugar and then blended it all together, and then from there I also added in buckwheat flour and baking soda. I blended that all together and then poured it over my hot waffle maker. After it was well cooked, I served it up with some fresh strawberries as well as blackberries and blueberries, and then I also drizzled it with some maple syrup. You could definitely serve this with a chocolate drizzle for some extra deliciousness, and of course whatever fruit you like. Our second breakfast is a delicious chickpea tuna open sandwich, which is my current fave. I start by putting some washed chickpeas into a bowl and then mashing them together well with my hands before adding in some vegan mayonnaise, lemon juice, garlic powder, onion powder, black pepper, pink salt, nutritional yeast, and spring onions. I mix this together well with a spoon before serving some fresh bread with some sliced tomato, sliced avocado, and the chickpea tuna mixture on top. I then also topped it with some chives and some black pepper for a very delicious start to the day. This is also very awesome for lunch or for dinner or for honestly any time of the day because it is so yummy. So I don't dabble in oats very often, but when I do, they are desserty and delicious. I first of all started with some oats, soy milk, maple syrup, peanut butter, vanilla and salt in a saucepan over medium to high heat. I then cooked them until they were really nice and thick, and meanwhile made a raspberry compote. I always feel like I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, but I'm pretty sure that's right. I made it with some frozen raspberries, water and maple syrup over the heat. Then in a bowl, I served the peanut butter oats with the raspberry compote, and I put on top some fresh strawberries as well as fresh blackberries, a drizzle of peanut butter, some crushed almonds and frozen raspberries. Next on the menu, we have some savory muffins. I first of all started by preheating the oven to 180 degrees Celsius before getting a mixing bowl and adding in gluten-free self-raising flour, followed by nutritional yeast, pink salt and black pepper. Pepper? Pepper, okay. I mix this well before adding in some soy milk as well as melted vegan butter and a flax egg. I mixed this together well again, and then I added in sun-dried tomatoes, fresh chives, fresh basil, and mixed it well. You guessed it, again. You could honestly add whatever herbs or spices you like, as well as vegan feta I think would be really delicious if you have any on hand. I put these into a muffin tray and baked them in the oven. All of the full baking instructions are in the description box below. I think these are great to make ahead of time for when you're in a rush in the morning, or if you just are after a delicious savory snack. Next up, we are making cauliflower fritters, which honestly ended up being more like a cauliflower burger patty. But again, these are awesome to make in advance and keep throughout the week for whatever you like. I started by cutting a head of cauliflower into florets and boiling them until they were super soft. Then I put them into a bowl and mashed them until they were nice and fine before adding in some garlic powder, nutritional yeast, onion powder, pink salt, black pepper, almond meal, buckwheat flour, fresh chives, fresh parsley, and fresh dill. That was an absolute mouthful. Okay, so I mixed this together well, and then I rolled them into patty-sized pieces and placed them onto a baking tray. I highly recommend wetting your hands with water before rolling the mixture into fritters because it avoids the batter sticking to your hands. I baked these in the oven until they were golden and then served 3 of them with some tomato chutney for breakfast. The rest I stored in an airtight container in the fridge to eat over the next few days. I'm back on the smoothie bowl train after a few months off and started by making this one, which was with soy milk, coconut yogurt, cacao powder, frozen bananas, and frozen raspberries. I blended this until the mixture was nice and thick and, for lack of a better word, swirly, and I served this in a coconut bowl, of course. I topped this with chocolate granola as well as almond butter, chopped almonds, dark chocolate, and fresh berries. This is essentially dessert for breakfast again, but I certainly do not hate it. I definitely recommend trying it at home. To finish a week of vegan breakfasts, we are making some fresh breakfast tacos. First of all, by making a fresh green capsicum salsa. I made this with avocado, green capsicum, spring onions, coriander, and lime, which I mixed together well in a bowl. And then over the heat, I fried up some chickpeas with olive oil, salt, pepper, and garlic powder until they were nice and crispy. I also fried the tortillas in a little bit of oil to make them nice and crispy as well. And then I served the fried tortillas with the fresh salsa as well as the crispy chickpeas. And then I topped it with my favorite ingredient on savory food, coconut yogurt, as well as chives, coriander, and lime. This was a very delicious way to start the day and packed full of flavor. Alrighty, so that was a week of vegan breakfasts. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to let me know down in the comments below what the next week of you would like to see is. I am thinking of doing a week of vegan desserts next. Haven't done a week of vegan desserts before, but I feel like it could be pretty iconic. Anyway, yeah, as always, thank you so much for being here, for supporting me and for supporting my YouTube channel. I appreciate it and you so very much, and I will see you very soon for another video. Have a beautiful day. Bye.